What if I told you that some of the most brilliant minds behind Nazi Germany's war machine, men who built rockets for Adolf Hitler, were not punished, not imprisoned, but secretly welcomed into the United States, not as prisoners, but as heroes? This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's history, declassified, documented, and buried beneath decades of denial. This is the story of Operation Paperclip, a covert U.S. intelligence mission to smuggle Nazi scientists into America after World War II. The year was 1945. Nazi Germany had fallen. The world had witnessed horror on a scale never before imagined. Concentration camps, genocide, rocket attacks, and cities reduced to rubble. As Europe tried to heal, the United States and the Soviet Union, once allies, were quickly becoming enemies. A new war was beginning, not of bullets, but of brains. And both sides wanted the same thing. At the heart of this brain race was a man named Wernher von Braun, Hitler's prized rocket scientist. The mastermind behind the deadly V-2 missile, von Braun was no ordinary engineer. He dreamed of space, but he built weapons of terror. His rockets killed thousands in London, Antwerp, and Paris. And yet, in less than 5 years, this same man would be shaking hands with US generals, helping build the future of NASA. How did this happen? How did America justify giving safe haven to Nazi scientists, men who had worked for a regime responsible for the Holocaust? The answer lies in a single word: Paperclip. It was the code name for one of the most controversial intelligence operations in American history. Run by the newly formed Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, JIOA, Operation Paperclip aimed to bring over 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians to the US and wipe their Nazi past clean. The reasoning was simple. The US feared that if these men were captured by the Soviets, they'd be used against us. Better to have them working for American interests, even if it meant ignoring their dark histories. But what's chilling is not just what they did during the war, it's what happened after they arrived. Many of these scientists went on to hold top-level government jobs. They worked for NASA, the Department of Defense, even CIA projects. Some helped build America's first ICBMs. Others developed chemical weapons and mind control programs. Few were ever held accountable. Most were praised. Their victims forgotten. Today, most Americans know little about Operation Paperclip. It's a footnote in textbooks, if mentioned at all. But the story is far from over, because buried within these files are deeper secrets about moral compromise, government deception, and the price of scientific progress at any cost. In this documentary series, we're going to walk through the secret corridors of American history, where flags waved in front and paperclips hid the past. We'll reveal who these men were, what they did, and how their legacy still echoes in our skies, our labs, and even our laws. Buckle up, because what you're about to learn was never meant to be known. Wernher von Braun was not just any scientist. He was a genius, a dreamer with a vision that stretched beyond Earth. But in 1940s Germany, his dreams were shackled to a dictator's war machine. Von Braun joined the Nazi Party in 1937. 2 years later, he became an officer in the SS, sworn to Hitler and Himmler. Why? Because loyalty meant funding, and funding meant rockets. The weapon he helped build, the V-2 rocket, was the world's first ballistic missile. It could soar over 50 miles into the sky before crashing down at supersonic speed. No defense could stop it. No sirens warned its arrival. When it hit London, it reduced buildings to ashes. More than 9,000 civilians died from these attacks. Another 12,000 died building the rockets in underground labor camps. You read that right. 12,000 people died building the V-2 rocket. At the Mittelwerk facility, prisoners from the Dora Mittelbau concentration camp worked in horrific conditions, starved, beaten, and executed for the smallest mistakes. Some were hanged in front of others as warnings, and von Braun knew. He visited the tunnels. He saw the suffering, and yet he kept going. When Germany surrendered in 1945, von Braun didn't stay to face justice. He didn't wait for the Nuremberg trials, where top Nazis were being held accountable for crimes against humanity. Instead, he and a small group of scientists fled south, carrying documents, designs, and their dreams, not of punishment, but of opportunity. And the US was waiting. Military intelligence had already marked von Braun and his peers as top scientific targets. Capturing them meant America could leap ahead in missile and space technology. Long before the Soviets, the US made a decision. Forgive the past, control the future. Von Braun surrendered to US forces in Bavaria, and within weeks, he was on American soil, not as a prisoner, but as a guest. Under Operation Paperclip, his Nazi records were altered. His SS affiliation was scrubbed. He became safe for US employment. And the public, they were told almost nothing. By 1950, von Braun was working for the US Army in Huntsville, Alabama, designing ballistic missiles. In 1958, he joined the newly formed NASA. Within a decade, he was the architect behind the Saturn V rocket, the one that sent Apollo 11 to the moon. The world hailed him as a hero, a pioneer, a symbol of American greatness. But in the shadows, the truth never fully disappeared. Survivors from the Dora camps gave testimony. Journalists uncovered records. In 1984, the U.S. Justice Department even launched an investigation into former Nazis living in America. But by then, von Braun was long gone. He died in 1977, never charged with a single war crime. So how do we reconcile this? The man who helped put Americans on the moon also helped kill innocent people in a Nazi death machine. Are we willing to forget the past in the name of progress? Was it worth it? Or is this the price of power? Doing deals with devils when the stakes are high? Operation Paperclip was never just about rockets. It was about morality. It was about America looking into the abyss and deciding that science, speed, and supremacy were more important than justice. And Wernher von Braun? He was just the beginning.